Hi, good evening, Nomitha. How are you doing today?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm also doing well. Thank you for asking. So, Nomitha, can you give me a brief about your profile?
Sure, sir. So, good afternoon, firstly, to all the panelists. Yeah, this is Nomitha, and I'm currently working as a product success manager at a company called Sprinkler. I am from Warangal, Telangana. Being raised by a teacher mom, I think all round personality development has been equally as important as stellar academics. So, I've been introduced to art, sports, and especially leadership very early in my life. I am a Kuchipudi dancer who has been trained for 17 years now. And that has given me an opportunity and a privilege to have two Guinness World Record certificates. So, with my interest in math and science, I've taken up IIT-JEE very seriously. And with all the hard work, within a blink of an eye of those 2 years, I've ended up in IIT Bhubaneswar. In these 4 years, I developed a very profound interest towards problem solving, strategy, planning, along with other technical skills. So that is where my interest for product management cultivated, and I ended up in Sprinkler as a product analyst. To sum up, I would say I am a very ambitious girl who's taking every stride to making her parents, teachers, well wishers proud with everything great I'm going to build in my life.
Mhm,
Thank you.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, okay, okay. So you said, I mean, your teacher mom was there, and that's why you got influenced by lots of things. So what was the dad doing? Dad did not have any role in your life.
It's not like that, sir. I think my dad is a very exemplary for me to be very secure when the woman is taking care of many things. My dad is a brain stroke patient.
Oh,
So
okay,
he is
okay,
usually on the back end. But I think few of the greatest advices I've got in my life are from my dad. Yeah, that is.
okay, okay. So what did you do your bachelor's in?
So I have done my bachelor's in materials and metallurgical engineering.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So, I mean, metallurgy to product, what success manager, you said?
Product success managers.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I mean, why the term, first of all, product success manager? I mean, is there someone who also takes care of product failure management?
Uh,
Because I've only heard of product managers. I don't know what's the difference between a product manager and a product success manager. So, you're not equipped for failure, right? You're only equipped for success.
Absolutely, sir. So that is a role specific in Sprinkler. Basically, it comes once the product goes live with a customer. So Sprinkler is a B2B SaaS platform. So
Hmm.
once a product goes live, once the product is success with a client, then the strategizing and all of that comes into picture. And that is why the specific term called product success manager, that's specific to Sprinkler.
So, this is more like a I mean, this is more like a post-sales customer service sort of a profile from what I understand from it. Am I correct in my understanding?
Uh, Post sales, definitely yes, sir, because the sales team is the first point of contact to get a client on board. But once the client is on board, then then we come into the picture, being a product analyst. Like I was working
So
as a
you come into a picture after the client is on board or after the product is online? I didn't understand.
So Sprinkler as a product always exists. So each business, each company has their own framework of working, right? Like say a technical company doesn't have all the features available on Sprinkler relevant to them from, say, a food and beverages company. So once they are with Sprinkler, how to cater these? Because every feature comes with a subscription plan, every feature comes with a different set of expertise that requires from the customer's end. So how to cater this? What features do I have to, pitch and then plan for a particular client is basically my area of expertise on Sprinkler.
Okay, okay, okay. So I mean, so So what differentiates you from a customer service manager?
So Sprinkler is a customer experience management platform by
Mhm.
what they're trying to do, the vision. What is different on Sprinkler is that we are a very technically heavy platform. So traditionally, how customer experience platforms work is there is a lot of manual work that goes into it. There is a lot of accounts that are being kept. So what we are trying to do is to eliminate the manual work and integrate AI features and very um, like features that can eliminate a lot of supervision. Like they are already supervised. You just have to even sometimes as you said, like a customer service, if it's an agent, he or she has to type the answer, right? Oftentimes on Sprinkler the answers are also available. So we are revenue efficient, we are time efficient more than anything else.
No, this doesn't answer my question. So my question is, what does how does your role how is your role different from that of a customer service? How is
Yes.
a product success manager different from a customer service manager? Because the way I see it, you're also managing customers, you are also doing things in post sale, you are coming it after the product goes live, right? So you're not coming when the product is being pitched and all those things, which is of course not CS. So for me, I don't see the difference between these two roles, PSM and CSM roles. So can you just explain what's the difference between these two roles?
Oh, okay, sir, definitely. So even once the product is live, sir, any product for that matter, in our day-to-day life that we use, we need to change with the trends that are going on, right? Like technology is ever changing. Every day there are new features and all. So even though the product is live, today maybe let's say a technical platform is not onto say Twitter. Let's just take a very basic example. The next day, once they are into Twitter, all the process is now to be done again. Like what features do we have to develop, and where should be the Twitter button? Very simple examples I'm giving. So all these needs to be catered and designed once again. So
Mm.
once the client is with Sprinkler, these processes are always there, what the product management does. So I could say that this is an integration of both customer experience and product management. It's like an intersection.
Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. So, you you are already, I mean, you did your engineering in metallurgy. Now you're doing your, no, you are working as a product success manager, which has, from what I understand, nothing to do with metallurgy. And now you want to get into MBA, which again, if I understand clearly, will be nothing to do with your current job because, I mean, there's a very whole different world outside MBA. So why is it that you want to keep jumping from one thing to another, you don't have any stability, you don't like stability in life that you want to do one thing in particular, or you just want to keep jumping around to what is the next big thing. So why is it that you want to do MBA?
So like I would, I agree with your point that there is a lot of difference in what I did. But at the same time, in hindsight, I think there is a lot of stability in it as well. Because right from my school, I've always wanted to be in the forefront of things. I didn't want to do things based on what the herd is telling me. So that is why problem solving interested me. Taking up decisions interested me. That is why I took product management. To continue answering your question, how would or why would I want to do MBA? So product management is a very cross collaborative field. Like today, yes, I'm a product success manager, but I would want to deep dive into you know being a product manager in some of the great companies, because uh, yeah, that is what I'm interested in. So I definitely feel MBA can give me that insight into how like a technical developer team works. Then because it's a very cross collaborative team, I would want to interact with sales, I would want to know how the marketing team works. I would basically want to know the seeds of business for which MBA would really help me. And most importantly, as my long term, I have a vision to bring together art and technology. So I think business and the case studies and just the pure network I can get from an MBA and the things I can learn from experienced faculty can be invaluable in what I want to achieve as my, goal in the future.
So you want to bring art and technology together, like how? You want to do AI generated art?
No, sir. So
Then
when I say art and technology together, the closest analogy I can draw is what Cult Fit did for fitness, right? Like today,
mhm.
if you want to just do yoga, you have cult centers. If you tomorrow want to do cardio, you have cult centers. So fitness as a community is brought together based on technology. We don't see that currently for art. Me being a classical dancer, I know everything about kuchipudi, but if I want to learn kathak for a brief time, like say 1 month, being in a very busy city like Bangalore, I do not see easy path for it. And discussing this with my friends, there are a lot of people who have the same kind of opinion about musical instruments, about music, about art, like the drawing, the painting, and all of that. So it would be really great, as historically being so rich in art, it would be really great if India can one day achieve this amalgamation of art and technology.
So I mean, I didn't understand. What do you want to create? If you're wanting to create a platform, see, things like art don't come within 1 week or 1 month. You need
Absolutely.
to have a consistent effort. If I say this month I want to learn, piano by the end of the month, it's not going to happen. No teacher can promise that also, and no one will be willing to take you as a student in that. So art needs consistent effort. Lots of things cannot be taught online because you need to buy your own instruments instead of using the instruments which are there at a particular center. Right. I'm just talking about music. It could be any other art form also, because unless the instructor knows exactly what you're doing, what are the moves that you're doing, they won't be able to give you feedback, and you know they don't. That's why that's the reason why it is a lot of things are still taught in a physical space and not in an online space. Online space maybe can get you from 1 to 10, but that zero to bringing you from 0 to 1 is itself that's where the real juice lies. So,
Absolutely.
so, so I'm not convinced. What is exactly that you want to do, and why do you need to do MBA? I mean, art and technology, if you really want to integrate, just dive into it. No one is stopping you from doing anything right now, right? Why do you need to do it after MBA?
So just to put my point even more clearer, so I don't have a vision of teaching it online because CultFit today is not teaching everything online. Online fitness is just one part of their business. They do have a lot of centers all around India where they've taken buildings for lease, equipment for lease, and all of that. So this business knowledge, I think I cannot acquire until and unless I go out there, study a lot. And as you said, sir, that is a very interesting point that art cannot teach you in a week or a month. Being an artist, I completely agree with it. But at the same time, in today's world where we are all busy, if you already have a little insight into how to play a keyboard, you don't have the facilities around you in big cities to just take your time off and go and do that. For that, people are traveling miles of distances. Like, example, me, I on weekends go to JP Nagar from Kadu Visinahali just to attend a workshop, one workshop of one song. So, if these centers could be made more available, and if you talk about who's going to teach it, like, like in general, employees who have weekends off, they are ready to teach. Like, for example, I am ready to take a Saturday class to a bunch of strangers who are equally passionate about it. So it's not like a
Then aren't you just diluting that? You can't compare art with outfit and exercising and gymming and all that. Art is a very, very sacred thing. You are trying to dilute art. I mean, when you bring it to the masses, and appreciate your thought of bringing things to the masses, but you are just making art just another business proposition? Right, right. I don't think Cult Fit has done anything to suddenly raise awareness about fitness. I mean, those who are already fit are fit. Those are unfit are still unfit. They're not going to. I mean, I've never used a Cult Fit, even though they've changed me a lot of times. I've never used Cult Fit, and I've been the most unhealthy person in my entire life. I've never used Cult Fit for that. So you're talking about art, which is more nuanced and which requires something. I mean, are you a trained art teacher? I mean, do you think you can actually train someone else? Are you a trained expert? Are you a trained professional? I mean, as a teacher, you might be trained in the art, but are you trained enough to teach the art?
Uh,
Teaching the art requires a lot of nuance. Even someone can't learn it in 1 year, like yoga, and say, okay, tomorrow honors I can teach others also. You can't. I mean, that there's a reason why they are specialists. There's a reason why they are gharanas. There's a reason why they are specific people who actually do art, right? So.
Absolutely, sir.
Uh, Anyways, coming to points. So you, I mean, you have learned metallurgy supposedly, right? So 4 years you have done metallurgy, and then now you are working in your role, right? So which is completely different, right? So tell me three things which you learned in your college, right? During the college of 4 years, tell me three things which you learned, which you have applied in your workplace, right? Three things which you have learned in your college, which you have applied in your workplace.
Oh, got it, sir. So, first thing I would say, what I've learned very much from my college is give your best today. Because in my first year, I have thought that I have 4 years to develop my score or to, give my best. But something very unfortunate happened in fourth year, which which demanded a lot of time from myself. So in that particular year, I thought, hey, maybe first year I shouldn't have thought that I had a lot of time. So give my best today so that whatever happens tomorrow, whatever is not in your hands, is not in your hands. So I apply that very much in my workplace that, hey, the renewal of this customer is not anytime soon. It's in 2025. So let me take time. No, I do not approach work like that. I approach work like, okay, today is the best chance for me to pitch this feature or to change anything designing. Let me do it. So this is something I've learned. The second thing is that you can do a lot by negotiating, just by putting your point forward, be it with professors. I always thought I should be afraid of professors just to go up to them and ask, sir, this particular assignment is seeming a little tougher to me. Can you give me a smaller assignment, if not to the entire class, personally to me? And never was a day where a professor told me, no, I cannot give you. They've always been helpful about it. So I think just putting your point forward politely and humbly opens a lot of doors for you. And the same I apply on my work with my managers and with my directors, saying, this is a great chance to do it, but can we ask for one more weeks of time so that we can be more efficient and the quality of it can be more. So,
Mhm.
and the third thing that I have learned is that humility and confidence lie on two different sides of a knife. So, as much as you are confident of doing things on your own, you should also be very open to receiving feedback. You should always be very open to another perspective that could open so many boxes in your head. And I think, especially being part of product team, right, sir? I think that has always helped me because a feature that I think is wow, groundbreaking for this client, I might miss a small point, and with feedback and with another person's perspective, I just get blown away. Oh, I've not thought about this way. So let me come up with a new plan. So I would say these are like the three things I can think of that I implement what I learned in my college.
Okay, okay, sounds fair. So, I'm still not convinced why I should take you into my college. I mean, you have good credentials, but so does everyone else, right? So, give me three reasons why I should, select you for my course at IIM Bangalore. Give me three ways in which you'll add value to my course and my college and my institute and to everyone else I mean, in the college. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So, first thing is when a person is very interested to do something, I think they bring onto the table that the herd is not bringing. Somebody who's just doing this course for the sake of it is different from somebody who's doing it with a lot of interest and ambition. So I want to do an MBA because I am interested to learn a lot of things. So I think I can add a lot of new things to the course, take up new projects. I wouldn't want to take up projects that are already existing, that already have a blueprint. I would want to take something challenging. This opens a forum for the college to expand into new projects, to expand into new things. So that I think is one. Secondly, do it even today for my school. I am somebody who is actively taking part in how I can give back to my alma mater. So if you ask me how am I doing it right now, in my holidays or whenever I go back home, I make sure to go back to my college and ask my teachers, can I do anything? Like recently I've went in Jan and there was my annual day and my teachers told, we are doing a song that you have done back in your 10th. So can you just teach that? This is a very small example, but I'm very uh, passionate about making my alma mater proud and giving back to them. So I don't think I see this as a very general trend. And I'm very proud of having this mentality. Especially this comes because my mom is a teacher and what they expect from their students. So that is how it got cultivated. And thirdly, sir, yes, a- along with classroom activities and along with classroom learning, I am very enthusiastic to give a lot of what's happening outside the campus, outside the classroom. Like, I would want this reputed college to continue the legacy of making new leaders, and I would want to give whatever I can to the same cause.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, okay, good. Fine. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, yeah. When I go this side, the voice goes down. I'm sorry. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Okay, biggest weakness. The point that I said earlier, sir, that I used to think I can do it tomorrow because I have time. But now I'm constantly learning to do my best today. Another thing I would say is that I would always think of being a perfectionist. If somebody tells this is what you should do. And I would always want to satisfy everybody who's saying that. But lately I realized that sometimes it's okay not to align with what somebody else is expecting. But at the same time, you shouldn't be arrogant or disrespectful about it. You can tell, hey, this is not something I believe in. So let me do what I'm doing. So, yeah, I would say I used to try to satisfy everything and everybody around me. But lately, I've been prioritizing. If I'm not able to do something today, a task, let me tell that according to my priorities and work towards it later.
Okay. Since you have done metallurgy, right? I want to just understand that in metallurgy, there is a concept, of how do I put this? Fracture testing. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. Okay, fracture testing, or uh, uh, let me just call it properly. Yeah, fatigue testing. Fatigue testing for materials, right? So how do you define fatigue testing, and what are the various ways in which you can do it? Just recall a few ways in which you can do it.
Yes, sir. So the first one I would say is tensile testing of material. So would you want me to just give a brief of what it is?
No, no, just what are the different ways in which you can do it? That's it. No need to give me brief of what each means.
Yeah. So tensile testing is one that we test for mechanical testing, and another one specific to what you told, fracture. So
Mm-hmm,
fracture is different from fatigue. So
mm-hmm.
for fracture, we have tensile, compression, shear, and rotatory testings on how different planes fracture in different kinds of conditions. And
Okay.
for Fatigue, it's mostly, we test hardness. So usually there is diamond indentation, there is hard metal indentation, depending on what material you're going to test it for. So if you know
Okay.
it's a softer material, you don't go for very hard materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate between, quenching and tempering of metals?
Okay, sir. So quenching uh, is when you rapidly cool something. So let's say
Okay.
iron is at a very high temperature, and
Mm.
usually the assumption on so many crystalline things is that we are cooling it down infinitesimally slower, which means like, right, that is the assumption. But when you say quenching, it's like you're dropping the temperature suddenly. There's no assumption of infinitesimally slow.
So as an example, if I drop a metal straightforward into water, then that would be a quenching process.
Quenching test, absolutely, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. So since you talked about iron, can you tell me what is a characteristic-wise two differences between ferrous and non-ferrous metals, and give me examples of the same?
Okay, sir. So ferrous and non-ferrous, I think I don't have examples of them on very top of my mind, but I'll make sure I'll go back and see
Okay,
examples for it. So
okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine. No problem, no problem. So can you tell me something about, in terms of when you're talking about metals and metallurgy, okay, how do you actually recycle metals, and how does this process of recycling actually take place in metals? So if I have certain thing, as example, I have a copper wire, right, and I want to recycle the copper wire. So just outline the steps. I don't want to want you to give me details. Outline the steps of how this thing can be recycled and made into other products.
yes, sir. So the process would be the same as how you take it out of the ore, but the first steps of uh, uh, funneling it, and like the first steps of eliminating the impurities would be absent. Then what we still do is we again heat it, liquidate it.
Why do you think eliminating impurities will absent? No? If I'm giving a copper cable, why won't copper also have certain elements in it which need to be removed if I want to make a pure copper later? Because there'll always be other additives, right, which are there in a copper cable.
So when you talk about reusing, recycling, I was
Yeah.
assuming that it already went through all those processes.
No,
And
no, I've just given you a copper cable. So I'm saying I want to recycle it and make something else. So some other product. So what will the steps for that?
okay, sir. So this copper cable that is already in use has gone through the process of eliminating the hard impurities, like, big blocks of rocks and all of that. So that is my assumption that I'm taking. So firstly, what
Okay.
you do is you clean it because you do not want to have any material that has already gone through oxidation or something. So you eliminate those. Okay. Then
Mm-hmm.
whatever is remaining would be your raw material. You would heat it,
Mm-hmm.
liquidate it, and then go through, uh, you know, sometimes uh, it can have oxygen traps. I don't exactly remember the procedure's name, but you eliminate all those traps by adding some like sulfates or something that can solidify the oxygen, forming a component. So now inside, once the oxygen is solidified with other components that are added, what remains is only the copper, pure copper, right? So
Okay. Okay.
like that, you can, use it malleably, ductilely, whatever your use case is. If you want to make
Okay.
wires or plates, whatever.
Wonderful. ठीक है, ठीक. Tell me what are the top news stories from India, right in the last maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, sir, got it. In the last 2 weeks, I think we got
Yeah.
our interim budget out. And
Okay.
in Telangana, there was a conference to, sorry, yeah. So I think in Telangana, we had a cabinet meeting. So me being from Telangana, I just know it. And another thing
Mm.
is the Ram Mandir temple opening. So I think that is a historic event. And yeah, I would say these are the three things top on my mind.
Okay. What conference are talking about?
So in Telangana, sir, we had recent elections in December. So the government has changed. So
Yeah. So
now,
conference, you said conference, right?
Cabinet meeting, I said so.
Is cabinet meeting really something of a big news?
So why it is a big news is because they are now trying to change the entire state logo after that meeting. It
Okay.
currently has the Warangal Orugalu Toranam, we call it, the Warangal arch.
So, oh, the arch.
Yeah,
Okay, the Varangal arch. Okay.
yeah.
Fine.
Inside
So,
it, there is a Charminar picture. So I think
mhm,
the outcome of that meeting was that the Charminar kind of gives you Nizam's rule. So let's eliminate that. So what the new design is, we still don't know. And they're going
mhm,
to change all the number plates from TS to TG. Like previously, TS was Telangana state. So this like it was suddenly a talk of the town because so many people have to change their registrations and all. So that is
mhm,
why it
mhm.
was.
Okay. Okay. So, no. So same question, but outside India, world. No, not involving India.
Okay, so uh, I would say the Palestine and Israel war
Mhm,
to be a very significant event that has been happening for a long time. And outside
mhm,
India, recently I've read about the Red Sea conflict, the trade that is being affected because of attacks there by the Houdinis, if I'm not wrong. And
mhm.
also on, I think very soon, if I'm not wrong, on Feb 13th or sometime, there's going to be opening of the first temple in UAE. And I think Narendra Modi ji is himself going to inaugurate it. So there has been news about it.
Okay. 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 Fine. Fine. So, do you have any questions to ask me?
Uh, Sir, like, what would you say is the best thing I can get out if I do my MBA from uh, this reputed college?
No, I don't have any answer to that because that is based on every individual. It's different, right? So I can't comment on that aspect, right?
Got it. So,
Okay. Chalo, we are done. Okay.
thank you so much.